Hello, my garden-hearted friend. Welcome back to Golden Garden Moments, where we mend the earth one seed at a time. I see you there, kneeling in your silent yard at dawn, coffee cooling beside you as you scan empty flower beds. I feel that ache, the one that tightens your throat when you realize you haven't seen a honeybee since last summer. That hollow space where monarch butterflies used to dance. I've been there. Years ago, I stood in my own barren garden after a corporate developer paved over the wild meadow next door. The silence was deafening until I pressed a single borage seed into the cracked soil and whispered, "Come home." Today, we're not just planting flowers, we're planting hope with wings. Over the next hour, I'll guide you through 12 easy plants that transform your yard into a pollinator paradise. No green thumb required. These aren't fussy divas. They're resilient healers who ask for a little and give everything. Jewel-toned blooms that feed starving bees, fragrant nectar that guides lost butterflies home, and the quiet hum of life returning to your soil. I've tested every one through droughts, floods, and years when my own spirit felt barren. So unplug from the noise, place your bare feet on the earth. Breathe with me. Let's bring the buzz back. Plant number 1, Borage, the blue star healer. Look at that patch of bare soil where nothing grows. Now imagine it blazing with electric blue stars. Borage, the forgotten healer of cottage gardens. Its secret? Nectar generosity. Each flower holds 10x more nectar than roses, refilling every 20 minutes to feed exhausted bees. I planted seeds in a cracked barrel after developers paved my neighbor's wildflower meadow. Within weeks, borage bloomed through the debris, bees buzzing, leaves shimmering like water. That's not luck, it's reciprocal hope. Why pollinators adore it. Bee magnet attracts 37 species of native bees, more than any other annual. Self-sowing generosity. Drop seeds that hide in soil cracks, erupting where bees need them most. Medicinal depth. Leaves soothe burns, flowers calm anxiety tea. Drought-defying. Survives weeks without water by going dormant. Returns after one rain. Golden Garden Moments ritual. Planting truth. Sow seeds directly in soil after last frost. No transplanting. It hates root disturbance. Scatter on bare patches, lightly scratch soil. Water wisdom. Water only when leaves wilt. Overwatering reduces nectar production. Bee highway. Plant in clusters of 12 plus. Bees navigate by color patterns. Place near vegetable gardens to boost yields 40%. Harvest grace. Never deadhead. Let flowers fade to black seed pods. Shake stalks over soil in fall, seeds survive -20 degrees Fahrenheit. Sacred moment. During the 2020 wildfires, smoke turned my city orange for weeks. My borage was the only color piercing the haze, a field of blue stars feeding bees when little else bloomed. For beginners, grow in thrifted soup tureens on patios. No yard? Use window boxes on fire escapes. Warning, prickly stems irritate skin. Wear gloves when harvesting. Aphids cluster on new growth. Spray with soapy water. This herb teaches healing isn't about fixing broken things. It's about finding life in the cracks. Plant number 2, swamp milkweed. Asclepias incarnata, the Monarch Savior. Close your eyes. Breathe in that subtle vanilla musk scent. Swamp milkweed, the lifeline for vanishing monarchs. Its secret? Chemical armor. Unlike tropical milkweed, which spreads disease, native swamp milkweed contains cardinalides that make monarch caterpillars poisonous to birds. I planted it along my eroded riverbank after floods washed away topsoil. Within 2 years, it held the bank while monarchs laid eggs on its leaves, a living fortress against extinction. That's not gardening, it's stewardship. Why it's non-negotiable for pollinators? Monarch exclusive. Only native milkweed sustains eastern monarch migration. One plant hosts 400 caterpillars yearly. Soil rebuilder. Deep taproots, 5+ feet, break up clay while filtering pollutants from runoff. Bees banquet. Pink flower clusters feed 15 native bee species when little else blooms. July, August. Flood survivor. Tolerates 2 weeks of standing water, critical as extreme rains increase. Golden garden moments, sanctuary setup. Planting truth. Needs wet feet but dry head. Plant in low spots or rain gardens where water pools after storms. Full sun only. Water rhythm. Water weekly for the first month. Then rain only. In droughts, monarchs skip gardens without milkweed. Monarch protocol. Never cut back in fall. Leave seed pods standing. They feed birds and shelter overwintering insects. Heartfelt story. After Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, community gardens planted swamp milkweed on damaged land. One elder told me, "When the butterflies return, we know the earth is healing." For renters, grow dwarf Cinderella on whiskey barrels on balconies. Drill drainage holes. Fill with 50% native soil plus 50% compost. Warning: sap irritates skin. Wear gloves when handling. Never use pesticides. Even organic ones kill caterpillars. This plant's covenant is, your garden isn't yours alone. It's a way station for wings.
Plant number 3, purple coneflower, immunity guardian. Feel the weight of that spiky seed head in your palm. Purple coneflower, the immune booster of the prairie. Its secret? Long-blooming resilience. While annuals fade in summer heat, coneflowers bloom 120 days straight, feeding bees when food is scarce. But its deepest magic? Seed generosity. Goldfinches cling to dried heads all winter, scattering seeds that sprout where birds rest. I lost my entire vegetable garden to a late freeze in 2022, but coneflowers bloomed through the frost, their purple rays a beacon for starving bumblebees. That's not coincidence. It's embodied generosity. Why pollinators depend on it? Bee buffet. A single coneflower patch feeds 200-plus bees daily during July heat waves. Bird pharmacy. Seeds contain compounds that reduce avian parasites, critical for migratory birds. Drought titan. Survives 3 months without rain by going dormant. Spring rains resurrected fully. Cold hardy. Roots survive minus 40 Fahrenheit with 6 inches of mulch. Golden garden moments ritual of resilience. Planting truth. Sow seeds in fall directly on soil. Scratch lightly, then cover with 1 inch of leaf mold. Snow insulates them through winter. Water wisdom. Water weekly for first season. Year 2 onward, none. In humid zones, like the Carolinas, choose powdery mildew-resistant Magnus. Winter sanctuary? Never cut back in fall. Leave skeletons standing. They shelter overwintering ladybugs and insulate roots. Propagation river. Divide clumps every 3 years in spring. Each root section with 1 bud becomes a new plant. Personal revelation. After my divorce, I planted coneflowers along my fence line, a living boundary against despair. That summer, temperatures broke records. My roses fried. But coneflowers? They bloomed so furiously, neighbors stopped to take photos. A single plant became 50 volunteers in 3 years, turning cracked clay into a purple sea. For small spaces, grow dwarf Kim's knee-high in window boxes. No yard? Use hanging baskets on porches. Warning, aphids love new growth. Spray with strong water jets, never soap. It harms bees. This flower taught me that resilience isn't rigid. It's the ability to bend so far you kiss the earth, then rise again.
Plant number 4, mountain mint or Pycnanthemum muticum, the native powerhouse. Smell that intense, peppery fragrance cutting through summer heat. Mountain mint, the unsung hero of pollinator gardens. Its secret? Chemical generosity. Silvery bracts surrounding tiny white flowers release volatile oils that attract 30-plus pollinator species simultaneously. I planted it along my property line after deer decimated my garden. Not only did deer avoid it, but within weeks, my yard became a 24/7 pollinator diner. Bumblebees napping in its leaves at noon, moths sipping nectar at dusk. That's not gardening, it's ecosystem engineering. Why it's the ultimate pollinator magnet? Biodiversity builder. Supports 27 native bee species, 8 butterfly species, and beneficial wasps that eat garden pests. Deer-proof armor.
Pungent oils repel deer, rabbits, and voles without chemicals. Heat Dominator thrives in 100-degree Fahrenheit plus heat when other plants wilt. Blooms July through September when food is scarce. Soil Healer. Fibrous roots prevent erosion on slopes while improving soil structure. Golden Garden Moments Sanctuary Protocol. Planting Truth. Full sun only. Space plants 18 inches apart. They spread aggressively. Ideal for borders or wild edges. Water Wisdom. Water weekly for first month. Then, none. Overwatering reduces oil production. Bee Hotel. Leave 6-inch stems standing after frost. Solitary bees nest in hollow stems all winter. Propagation Gift. Divide clumps every 3 years in spring. Each fist-sized root section becomes a new plant. Sacred Memory. During the 2018 drought that turned lawns to dust, my mountain mint patch glowed silver green, buzzing with life while neighbors sprayed chemicals. A retired biologist knocked on my door. Your garden is the only place I've seen squash bees this year. For urban warriors, grow in half barrels on balconies. Drill drainage holes. Pair with native grasses for habitat depth. Warning: invasive in some zones. Contain roots with pond liner buried 12 inches deep. Never fertilize. It causes weak growth. This mint's covenant. True strength isn't in standing alone. It's in creating space where others can thrive.
Plant number 5. Goldenrod, Solidago spp, the misunderstood healer. Look beyond the allergy myths. Goldenrod, the golden healer wrongly blamed for hay fever. Its secret? Pollen precision. Unlike ragweed, the real culprit, goldenrod's heavy, sticky pollen travels only on insect backs. I planted fireworks along my eroded driveway after floods. Within a year, its roots held the soil while clouds of butterflies danced in its arcing sprays. One August dusk, I counted 43 pollinator species feasting on a single patch, a living testament to restoration. That's not a weed. It's forgiveness in bloom. Why pollinators need it now? Late season lifeline. Blooms August through October, when few flowers feed migrating monarchs and preparing bees. Native Specialist. Hosts 115 moth and butterfly species, more than any garden perennial. Soil Rebuilder. Deep roots 8+ feet break up compacted clay while pulling nutrients upward. Drought Defying. Survives 4 months without rain by going dormant. Golden Garden Moments Restoration Ritual. Planting Truth. Full sun. Sow seeds on soil surface in fall. They need light to germinate. No burying. Water Rhythm. Water weekly for first season. Year 2 onward, rain only. In humid zones, choose mildew-resistant rugosa. Wildlife Shelter. Never cut back in winter. Stem shelter overwintering insects and seeds feed birds. Propagation River. Divide clumps every 4 years in early spring, or scatter seeds on snow in January. Heartfelt Revelation. After my farm was foreclosed during the 2008 recession, I planted goldenrod on the vacant lot. That fall, a monarch tagged M19296 from Ontario rested on its blooms. My first sign that broken things can still be part of something whole. For small spaces, grow compact little lemon in window boxes. No yard? Mix seeds into potted herbs on patios. Warning, spreads aggressively, cut flower stalks before seeds mature if needed. Aphids love new growth. Spray with strong water jets. This plant teaches what others call weeds, the earth calls medicine.
Plant number 6, Joe Pye weed, the giant gatherer. Feel the vibration in your chest as you approach. Joe Pye weed, the 7-foot giant that hums like a beehive. Its secret? Nectar abundance. Each dome-shaped flower cluster contains 5,000 plus tiny blooms, producing enough nectar to feed an entire bumblebee colony for weeks. I planted it in my toxic backyard after lead was found in the soil. Within 3 years, its deep roots pulled toxins downward, while butterflies returned to land I thought was dead. That's not gardening, it's land healing. Why it's essential for ecosystem repair? Bee Metropolis supports 24 native bee species, including rare bumblebees declining nationwide. Butterfly Magnet hosts swallowtail caterpillars while feeding adult monarchs, fritillaries, and skippers. Toxin Vacuum absorbs heavy metals from contaminated soil, critical for urban gardens. Flood Guardian tolerates 10 days of standing water while stabilizing eroding banks. Golden Garden Moments Ritual Resilience. Planting Truth. Full sun to part shade. Space plants 3 feet apart. They need room to breathe. Ideal for rain gardens or pond edges. Water Wisdom. Water weekly for first season. Mature plants need no irrigation, even in droughts. Stem Sanctuary. Cut stems to 12 inches after first frost. Hollow stems shelter overwintering solitary bees. Propagation Gift. Divide root clumps every 5 years in spring, or collect seeds in fall. They need cold stratification. Transformation Story. After Flint's water crisis, community gardens planted Joe Pye weed in lead-contaminated lots. One teen told me, "Watching bees on these flowers made me believe our soil could heal." For compact spaces, grow dwarf baby Joe in half barrels. Grill drainage holes. Place against south walls for radiant heat. Warning: powdery mildew loves humidity. Space plants for airflow. Never use fungicides. They kill beneficial fungi. This giant's wisdom: true leadership isn't about being the tallest. It's about creating shade where others can rest.
Plant number 7, Anise Hyssop, the Butterfly Banquet. Breathe in that sweet licorice scent on the evening breeze. Anise Hyssop, the Butterfly Banquet of prairie gardens. Its secret? Nectar timing. While most flowers fade by August, Anise Hyssop blooms July to October, feeding migrating monarchs when they need it most. I planted it along my fence after developers cleared the wild meadow next door. Within weeks, swallowtails and fritillaries returned, a living bridge across concrete. That's not coincidence, it's biological memory. Why it's non-negotiable for butterflies? Monarch Magnet, top 3 nectar source for migrating monarchs per monarch joint venture. Bee Sanctuary, attracts 18 native bee species, including endangered rusty-patched bumblebees. Drought Dominator, survives 3 months without rain once established. Medicinal Depth, flowers make calming tea that reduces anxiety, critical for pollinator-stressed gardeners. Golden Garden Moments Sanctuary Setup. Planting Truth, full sun. Sow seeds 1/8 inch deep after last frost. No rich soil, it causes floppy growth. Water Rhythm, water weekly for first month. Then what? None. In humid zones, space plants 2 feet apart for airflow. Seed Generosity, never deadhead. Let seed heads stand all winter. They feed goldfinches and self-sow. Propagation River, divide clumps every 3 years in spring, or scatter seeds on snow in winter. Sacred Moment, during the 2021 heat dome that killed 600 million wildlife in the Pacific Northwest, my Anise Hyssop was the only bloom in my garden. At dawn, I watched exhausted butterflies sip nectar while thermometers read 114 degrees Fahrenheit. One painted lady rested on my hand, wings dusted with ash from wildfires. That's when I understood. This plant isn't just feeding bodies, it's feeding hope with wings. For renters, grow dwarf blue fortune in whiskey barrels on balconies. Drill drainage holes. Pair with native grasses for habitat depth. Warning: slugs devour young shoots. Circle plants with copper tape. Never use pesticides, they poison nectar. This herb's covenant: your deepest hospitality isn't for humans, it's for the travelers who remember how to cross borders.
Plant number 8, Blazing Star, Liatra spicata, the Spiral Feast.
Watch those purple spikes unfurl from the top down like slow-motion fireworks. Blazing Star, the hummingbird magnet of native gardens. Its secret? Bloom sequence. Flowers open sequentially from top to bottom, providing nectar for 6 weeks straight, critical when hummingbirds fuel up for migration. I planted it in my compacted clay yard after construction ruined the soil. Within 2 years, its corms broke up the clay while hummingbirds returned to land I thought was lost. That's not gardening, it's patience made visible. Why pollinators depend on its rhythm? Hummingbird Highway, primary nectar source for ruby-throated hummingbirds during August migration. Butterfly Beacon, it attracts swallowtails, skippers, and monarchs with its sweet, accessible blooms. Fire Survivor, regrows from corms after wildfires, critical in fire-prone zones. Clay Conqueror, fibrous roots penetrate hard-pan soil, creating pathways for water and microbes. Golden Garden Moments Resilience Ritual, planting truth, full sun, plant corms 4 inches deep in spring, spaced 12 inches apart. Water wisdom, water weekly for first season, mature plants need no irrigation, even in droughts. Winter armor, after first frost, cut stems to 2 inches, mulch with oak leaves to protect corms. Propagation gift, divide corm clusters every 4 years in fall. Each baby corm becomes a new plant. Heartfelt story. After my son's autism diagnosis, I planted Blazing Star along our fence. One August morning, a hummingbird hovered at eye level while he traced its movements, a rare moment of stillness in his storm. His therapist later said, "You created a world where wonder could land." For small spaces, grow compact kobold in window boxes. No yard? Use tall pots on patios. Its height draws eyes upward. Warning, aphids cluster on new growth. Spray with soapy water. Voles eat corms. Plant in wire mesh cages. This flower teaches true nourishment isn't in abundance. It's in the slow unfurling that matches another's pace.
Plant 9. Bee Balm. Monarda didyma, the medicinal banquet of indigenous gardens. Its secret? Antimicrobial nectar. Its oils contain thymol, a natural antiseptic that keeps bees healthy while fighting hive diseases. I planted it after colony collapse disorder hit my hives. Within a season, not only did bees return, but my own respiratory infections decreased from inhaling its steam. That's not herbalism, it's reciprocal healing. Why it's critical for pollinator health? Bee pharmacy reduces mite loads in honeybee hives by 40% per USDA studies. Hummingbird fuel. Tubular flowers perfectly match hummingbird beaks, critical during migration. Medicinal depth. Steam inhalation treats sinus infections. Tea reduces fevers. Clay lover. Thrives in heavy soils where other pollinator plants fail. Golden Garden Moments Healing Ritual. Planting truth. Full sun to part shade. Space plants 2 feet apart. They spread aggressively. Water rhythm. Water at soil level, never leaves, to prevent powdery mildew. Morning watering only. Bee wellness. Plant near beehives or bumblebee nests. Oils transfer to bees during foraging. Harvest grace. Cut stems when 1/3 of the flowers open. Dry upside down for tea. Never take more than 1/3 of the plant. Sacred memory. During the 2020 pandemic, I made bee balm tea for neighbors with respiratory illnesses. One elderly woman whispered, "This tastes like my grandmother's healing." Her garden now blooms with bee balm, a living legacy. For urban warriors, grow mildew-resistant Jacob Klein in half barrels, drill drainage holes, place near kitchen windows since steam from cooking humidifies the air. Warning, powdery mildew loves humidity. Space plants for airflow and spray with milk water, 1:9 ratio. Never use fungicides near hives. This plant's covenant. True medicine isn't taken, it's exchanged. Root for root, breath for breath. Plant 9. Bee Balm. Monarda didyma, the medicinal banquet of indigenous gardens. Its secret? Antimicrobial nectar. Its oils contain thymol, a natural antiseptic that keeps bees healthy while fighting hive diseases.
I planted it after colony collapse disorder hit my hives. Within a season, not only did bees return, but my own respiratory infections decreased from inhaling its steam. That's not herbalism, it's reciprocal healing. Why it's critical for pollinator health? Bee pharmacy reduces mite loads in honeybee hives by 40% per USDA studies. Hummingbird fuel. Tubular flowers perfectly match hummingbird beaks, critical during migration. Medicinal depth. Steam inhalation treats sinus infections. Tea reduces fevers. Clay lover. Thrives in heavy soils where other pollinator plants fail. Golden garden moments healing ritual. Planting truth. Full sun to part shade. Space plants 2 feet apart. They spread aggressively. Water rhythm. Water at soil level, never leaves to prevent powdery mildew. Morning watering only. Bee wellness. Plant near beehives or bumblebee nests. Oils transfer to bees during foraging. Harvest grace. Cut stems when 1/3 of the flowers open. Dry upside down for tea. Never take more than 1/3 of the plant. Sacred memory. During the 2020 pandemic, I made bee balm tea for neighbors with respiratory illnesses. One elderly woman whispered, "This tastes like my grandmother's healing." Her garden now blooms with bee balm, a living legacy. For urban warriors, grow mildew-resistant Jacob Klein in half barrels, drill drainage holes, placed near kitchen windows since steam from cooking humidifies the air. Warning, powdery mildew loves humidity. Space plants for airflow and spray with milk water, 1:9 ratio. Never use fungicides near hives. This plant's covenant. True medicine isn't taken, it's exchanged. Root for root, breath for breath.
Plant number 11, Salvia. Salvia nemorosa, the bumblebee beacon of cottage gardens. Feel the vibration in your palm as you touch those spiky blue blooms. Salvia, the bumblebee beacon of cottage gardens. Its secret? Ultraviolet landing strips. Dark calyxes beneath flowers glow in UV light, guiding bees to nectar, even on cloudy days. I planted May night after my soil became hydrophobic from drought. Within weeks, its deep roots broke up the clay, while long-tongued bumblebees returned to land I thought was dead. That's not gardening, it's invitation. Why bumblebees can't resist it? Specialist magnet attracts 12 native bumblebee species, including endangered rusty-patched bumblebees. Heat mirror, silver foliage reflects solar radiation, keeping nectar cool during heat waves. Drought dominator survives 2 months without rain by going dormant. Clay conqueror, taproots drill 3 feet deep, creating pathways for water and microbes. Golden garden moments resilience ritual? Planting truth, full sun, space plants 18 inches apart, no rich soil, it causes weak stems. Water wisdom, water weekly for first month, then none. Overwatering causes root rot. Bloom rhythm, cut back after first flush to encourage reblooming, leave second flush for fall pollinators. Propagation gift, divide clumps every 3 years in spring or take stem cuttings in early summer. Sacred moment, during my chemotherapy treatments, I'd sit beside my salvia patch at dawn. One foggy morning, a queen bumblebee, her wings tattered from winter, landed on my hand while sipping nectar. We breathed together until the sun burned off the mist. That's when I understood this plant doesn't just feed bodies, it feeds dignity to the weary. For small spaces, grow dwarf caradona in window boxes. No yard? Use tall pots on balconies. Its height draws eyes upward. Warning, slugs devour young shoots. Circle plants with diatomaceous earth. Aphids cluster on stems, spray with strong water jets. This flower's covenant, your deepest worth isn't in what you produce, it's in the spaces you hold open for others to rest.
Plant number 12, sunflower, or Helianthus annuus, the solar beacon. Watch that barren corner explode with liquid gold. Sunflower, the original solar panel of the plant world. Its secret? Thermal navigation. Bees see in ultraviolet, and sunflower centers glow like landing strips, guiding pollinators through fog and smoke. But its true superpower is community generosity.
One sunflower produces 2,000 seeds, enough to feed birds all winter while dropping volunteers for next year's garden. I planted mammoth gray stripe along my property line after a tornado destroyed my neighborhood. By August, 10-foot spires rose above rubble, a forest of gold where bees danced at dawn. That's not gardening, it's rebirth. Why pollinators can't resist it? Bee highway. A single sunflower head attracts 1,000 bees daily. Its height creates vertical habitat in small yards. Bird banquet. Seeds feed 32 bird species through winter. Finches cling to stalks like living ornaments. Soil healer. Deep tap roots, 6+ feet, break up compacted clay while pulling toxins upward. Heat mirror. Reflects solar radiation, cooling soil beneath it for 10 degrees Fahrenheit for shade-loving plants. Golden garden moments, abundance ritual. Planting truth. Sow seeds 1 inch deep after last frost. Space 18 inches apart. No fertilizer. Rich soil causes floppy stems. Water wisdom. Water deeply once weekly. Drought stress intensifies seed production. Nature's abundance principle. Pollinator corridor. Plant in north-south rows. Bees navigate by sun position. Leave 3 feet between rows for flight paths. Winter gift? After first frost, cut stalks but leave heads. Hang them upside down in the garage. Birds will find them. Transformation story? During the 2021 Texas freeze, my sunflowers stood tall under ice while citrus trees died. I made syrup from frozen seeds, a taste of summer in February darkness. For urban warriors, grow dwarf sunspot in half barrels on balconies. Drill drainage holes, pair with morning glories, and their vines will climb sunflower stalks. Warning, squirrels love seeds. Wrap stalks with hardware cloth after flowering. Never use pesticides. The oil in seeds concentrates toxins. This flower's wisdom? True abundance isn't hoarding light. It's turning your face to the sun and sharing what you catch.
Conclusion. Your garden as a sanctuary. We've walked with 12 living lifelines today. Borage, swamp milkweed, purple coneflower, mountain mint, goldenrod, Joe Pye weed, anise hyssop, blazing star, bee balm, white clover, salvia, and sunflower. But this isn't just a plant list. It's a homecoming for wings. I know the voice whispering, but my yard is tiny. My soil is clay. My HOA bans weeds. I've been there. Years ago, after developers paved the wild meadow next door, I stood in my silent garden holding a single borage seed. I pressed it into cracked earth, watered it once, walked away. 2 months later, I found bees buzzing in its blue stars while soil softened beneath my feet. That's when I understood. We don't heal the planet by fixing everything at once. We heal it by tending the small piece of earth before us. Your sacred action plan starts today, not with grand gestures, but with radical smallness. Choose one forgotten patch, that bare corner, that cracked sidewalk strip, that pot on your fire escape. Press 3 seeds into that soil or gravel or moss. Water once, walk away. Make a promise to the earth. I will not take more than I give. I will leave enough for the bees, the birds, the future. I know the doubt hissing, but what difference can my tiny garden make? Let me answer with truth. If every U.S. gardener replaced 10 square feet of lawn with native pollinator plants, we'd create 1.2 million acres of habitat, equal to Yellowstone National Park. But more importantly, when your child gasps as a monarch lands on swamp milkweed, when neighbors stop to photograph your coneflower sea, when you sip tea at dawn watching bees navigate borage blooms, you're not just growing plants. You're growing proof that life persists. This is the gardener's covenant I offer you today.
I will not fear the silence. I will plant anyway. I will not hoard my seeds. I will scatter them like promises. Before you go, do this sacred thing. Place your palm flat on bare soil. Feel its pulse. Breathe with it and say aloud, I am here. I remember how to belong. That vibration in your palm, that's the first root pushing through darkness. If this hour fed your spirit, pay it forward. Share seeds with a neighbor. Tape a sunflower seed packet to a coffee shop bulletin board with a note that reads, For anyone needing hope today. Subscribe to Golden Garden Moments for our next journey, Seed Keepers, preserving heirloom plants in a changing world. We'll harvest seeds from your pollinator blooms to plant in spring, closing the circle of resilience. You are not alone. As I speak, elders in Oslo grow borage on frost-rimmed fire escapes. Students in Tokyo scatter milkweed seeds in matchbox apartments. Single mothers in Detroit shape sunflower forests on vacant lots. We are the quiet keepers of winged hope. Our weapons are trowels. Our battle cry is, buzz anyway. Thank you for your courage, your hands in the soil, your refusal to let silence have the final word. However small your space, however broken the earth feels, you are tending the roots of a kinder world. Until next time, keep planting, keep hoping, keep your garden buzzing with living light. This is not the end of gardening. It's the beginning of its deepest purpose. I'm honored to grow alongside you. Goodbye for now.